Good morning, everybody. It is 7:28 in the morning on this wonderful Tuesday, March 27th of 2018. Um, we talked yesterday about how we should probably see some big turnarounds in a lot of these kind of trending markets that we've experienced for a while, and kind of exceeded my expectations when I woke up this morning. Um, Yesterday on the MAM account last week, if you remember, I was mentioning that we were down at one point like 5,000 in the MAM account and recovered all of that. And then between, I think, when we do start taking shorts in these counter trends based on our Gann levels and our dates and counting, I think it was Thursday or Friday, and then we held those and extended into Monday, and we were down a significant portion of $11,000 in the MAM account up till yesterday, and then overnight we have basically retraced 100% of that, and we're well into profit in a lot of these trades. So the point is that when you have, I suppose I was telling my wife when she was asking me about how my day was, and I was like, I think I'll use it as a learning opportunity, because I think as long as I've been trading, or the longer I've been trading, the more comfortable I am with paper drawdowns. And paper drawdowns are, the trades you have active that are causing a negative, but something's not a loss until you sell it. And risk management is that is a tool that needs to be honed and fined, and a lot of it is going to be determined by what your tolerance is. What can you sustain? And there's a combination of conviction and knowing the probability of the trade you're taking or that you're in, and being able to weather all of the storms that are going to come up in the short term. Okay, so looking at saying that, let's look at our trades and let's just kind of look at, I want to use the pound as an example. Okay, because we were starting to short the pound, or maybe you didn't, but I started to short the pound. I had a trade idea up. On March 16th. So 11 days ago, I started to short the pound. I said a pound short, target 135.36 based on Gann and Gartley. We had this is the bullish formation, but then we had this area we're pointing down here. Staunch resistance in the 139.62 zone, right around here. Extended levels on the daily here. And let's see what else. There's a perfect square in time on March 14th. Price failed to rally in that zone, and a violent move should be expected. We did get a violent move, and it was to the upside, projecting a lower with a bearish. Actually, this is a bullish bat, not a bearish bat. Anyways, then we got, as we got higher, I was adding to our shorts, just because, it was a shorting time. It was not a buy in and go long time. It was already overextended. And a lot of that was due to my type of Gann analysis. And so in Gann's analysis, you use a square of 9, which is this. This is the square of 9. And this is the 90-degree price level on a square of 9. So 90 degrees, that is generally going to be treated as a pretty strong reversal area. It's going to be difficult to cross. You know, it's just a very difficult zone to get to try and cross above. We also had this noticeable divergence here, and we just kind of rallied really kind of meekly right up above here. And this is where I was beginning to this is where I had, like, you know, the big short bias going into this was on the approach to this zone, because we were getting very extended, and you know, we just got in too early. So what do? Well, if you're going to go short here, why wouldn't you go short higher up? I mean, it's kind of the inverse of dollar averaging in a long position. I mean, if I was gonna go short here, and none of the underlying conditions of the dates or the zones have changed, why would I not go short up here? I mean, this is kind of like, you know, I kind of tranche where I like to buy in, because, you know, I look at this as my guaranteed entry, because I know that this is going to retrace a significant sum. That's just what the probabilities are saying. That's all the Gann analysis is saying. So if I know that that's going to retrace a significant sum, I want to make sure that I get in the move. So get in the move a little early, which was a little bit too early. This really, like, got away from us quite a bit. This is quite an extended move. And then we just continue to rally, added to more of these resistance zones, and then finally we've had a capitulation in these prices now. Time and price got squared, and we faced you know, a big rejection zone, and you know, really a full retracement of the last 1, 2, 3 days of trading in just under, you know, a 12-hour period. Okay, so let's look at all of those trades right now, and this is going to make the Ichimoku system, and I want to actually talk about that too, because, you know, I've been talking about how we're going to use the Ichimoku system as our basis of trading, and I broke the rules of the Ichimoku system by taking these shorts and longs. But it's because I've been trading long enough to know that I just know when something's not right. You know, yesterday when we were talking about the pound dollar, we were looking at this ride up here on the hourly, and I was talking about these clouds, where thick clouds, they represent strength, honesty, and integrity in a zone that has been traded before. So, you know, in a thick cloud, we're looking for, you know, thicker clouds just represent an area that's going to have a lot of strength behind it, whether it's support or resistance. And so, you know, when we're looking at these clouds, these are really thin. You know, these are not very thick at all. And when we kind of look around and analyze the behavior of that rise, and, you know, it was pretty anemic on the volume on the way up. You know, nothing else I didn't need to know anything else except where my Gann levels were and the dates and the day count. But now we appear to have a clear trend reversal forming here. And so this is going to make our entries with the Ichimoku system a little bit easier. You know, right now we are probably going to experience some type of short-term bounce in the euro pound, which probably should be expected a little bit. And we have to look at, you know, what are our conditions for taking a short again. If we want to go short, price has to be below the cloud. The cloud in front of us has to have what's called a TK cross, a Tenkan-sen Kinjin-sen, or the cloud has to be the color that we want it to be in the direction we're going. So we want the cloud in front of us to turn red or pink. And so price below the cloud has to turn red or pink in front of us. The lagging span, which is this guy right here, that has to be below the cloud. It is. And the conversion line and the baseline should be below the cloud. Or at least the conversion line, the blue line, should be below the base. And so you can barely see it, but right here we do have a change in the color of the cloud. All right. So that is we have all the conditions for a short setup. Now I'm looking at this relative to the other clouds. Here's the 4-hour and the 8-hour cloud. They're kind of extended away from us, so we're not going to worry about those right now. So where would I want to get short here? If I missed this boat, and actually let's check out before I do that, let's look at the trades. Yesterday we took a short. I put these trade ideas in yesterday at 7 in the morning, and so wanted to go short at 142.28. Okay, that was up here, 142.28. I mean, actually, we probably couldn't have planned that any better. You guys actually got a better entry on that than I did. 142.28. Man, and I'm not, if you can check the system yourself, but I mean, here's the timestamp here, 6:58 a.m. yesterday. We got in very, very nicely there. Nice move. And that was a nice big old drop. We've got quite a bit of movement there. Nice capitulation in price. Nice drop. Very cool to see that. And then let's see, what do we got? We got UJ. We wanted to go long at 105.1. Really, we've just been talking about the dollar yen being long anywhere between 103 and 106. I mean, this is going to be a long-term trade. It's going to be a hold for a while because we are severely extended on all of our time frames, and it is due for a pullback. Multi-year lows. We're just looking for that kind of nice little scalp there. That nice, this kind of behavior to reverse and keep going up. So long at 105.1, really easy to see. We've got 70 pips on that move. That's nice. The euro pound, we went short at 124.10 yesterday. We actually kind of got away from us just like the pound did, but this got away from us later in the morning. That's where we are short 124.10, and now we are retracing that move. Not as big of a drop. The euro right now has a lot more to drop versus the pound dollar right now. The euro has a lot more short-term thrust down. The pound dollar's down almost a full percent, but the euro pound's only down 50%. I mean, that's relative. That percentage move doesn't mean anything. It's just this guy has a lot more to move relative to the other pairs. Then the gold dollar, we wanted to short below 13.45, and that is exactly what we wanted to have happen. We are in that zone right now. How does that look? Because we've got a nice. Let's go over here. Look at that. This previous trend line that we still have existing here, that got rejected. Double top on that gorgeous technical example of a rejection zone on a previous trend line. This is just a fantastic example of that. Really kind of neat to watch that. So 13.45, we may be in with gold. We may be in for a major corrective move in this pair. We may be in for a significant down move going into the future here. Just to keep that in mind. Now what we got? We're not a whole lot into profit. It took a while to get down here. And then the euro dollar, we had another long idea if we returned to the base at 123.37 at 123.7. Um, that was only for during the day. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong chart here. There we go. We had the long bias on here because if we were going to continue to have big momentum in the dollar pairs where the dollar was showing a lot of weakness still, we were going to look at this going long here. This still was probably a good idea for a short-term scalp here, but otherwise really not entertaining taking any long positions in these guys right now. The euro pound, we wanted to go long at 87.45, 40 pips into profit there. That's working out pretty nicely. Remember yesterday, the reason we wanted to do that was because we were sitting inside the cloud, but the lagging span was parked back here, and we were assuming that 87.45 was kind of the zone we would probably be at where the lagging span would finally break out of the cloud, and then we could get in that long, and that is what's happening right now. So you can see clearly that the euro is outperforming the dollar. And then the US dollar, Canadian dollar, we wanted to go long at a cross above the conversion line at 1.3. And what the hell time frame was I looking at? Probably here? No. Probably here. Yeah. That's more than likely what I was looking at. But really no trade. Actually, we could be looking at a head and shoulder setup here. So we got to be careful about this one. Be careful about that US dollar, Canadian dollar. And those were our trades. So moving forward into today and looking at what our trades are going to be. So let's look at these moves that we've had. Let's take a peek at the euro dollar. So the euro dollar, ever since about 1 in the morning, kind of before the London Open, we've really retraced a bit of this move here. We've got from that swing, we're approaching the 50% drive of that, so we're still okay here. From this swing high to this swing low, we're looking at price has it got rejected at the 786. That's also another big deal. Oh, also I wanted to point out that bearish divergence here, very pretty. That we're right up against a Gann angle in time. Okay, so be on the lookout for prices turning right at this zone here. Okay. At 3:30, the date 3:30, March 30th, is where there is a zone that signifies reversals, changes, and trends, and we can see that on this 360-degree price angle, it could not hold it. This just turned into one big bull. In fact, the pound and the euro have been pretty big bull traps. Now, are they going to be long-term or short-term bull traps? I don't know. I am on the side of long-term bull traps, but this was just itching for trouble. I was really excited to see this yesterday. So we broke down handedly below this zone. I mean, this inverse head and shoulders pattern has been rejected. It clearly tried to play out, and it did not. I mean, there was a lot of hope and expectation that the euro would just continue to go up after this, and it may still. It may, there's nothing saying this can't, but for the time being, with the bias being heavily on the short end because of these extended areas, and because of this continued divergence on our charts, we should see a big old throw up in price here. Okay. Now, bringing that back to what we've got here, we're going to want to wait to get short again. I feel I'm still holding the shorts that I've got active in the euro, and if I'm looking at getting a re-entry right now, I'm going to play totally off the Ichimoku system. I'm going to play totally off of it because I want, on the hourly, I want this to play out. I want to get all the conditions met for me to go short. So I've got to wait. So really no trade entry there, because really a lot of the trade positions we took yesterday are still active today. So there's really not a huge urge to really change anything. We're probably only looking to add to these positions as the day goes on. The dollar yen, this guy has been strong. This guy yesterday, when I was watching it very closely, I've talked before about how when you trade something for a long time, you kind of get a feeling for its rhythm, its momentum, and how it behaves. And a few of those moments happened yesterday, especially when we were kind of trading around the 105.20 zone, where we were getting into these extended areas and selling conditions on our oscillator. But it was just as the candlesticks were forming, I was watching them tick very closely. I was just saying, like, to myself, well, this is not exhibiting, just from a pure price action standpoint, this was not exhibiting the same kind of strength to the downside that it was previously. I mean, there was clear activity of buying this guy up as we went. And even when we got into these extended conditions, the buying continued. So, it's we could probably just assume that is going to continue throughout the week here. Where will this pull back to? Looking at the 886 zone, really we've retraced all of this swing here. And this is probably not a bad idea to shave off some profit. But, I mean, we still got a lot of upside move here. The pound dollar. Okay, well, and actually looking at this on the... let's look at this here. We're looking at this on the hourly. And we have all the conditions met now for a long condition on UJ based on the hourly. Okay? We are above the cloud in price. We are above the cloud with our conversion line and baseline, and the lagging span is above the cloud. And the cloud in front of us is green. Now, the only thing that kind of makes you go, well, is this... I mean, right now the lagging span is above the cloud, but, if we look over here, the cloud here is pretty... This is a sign of strength, okay? When I was talking about the clouds being thick, and especially if they're thick and they have a flat top or a flat bottom, breaking through this kind of resistance here should be difficult, and we can see that we did spend a lot of time in that area. We actually spent a lot of time in that area, not just based on the cloud, but in these fib levels, which are very, very important levels. In fact, one of the fib levels that really never gets talked about is the 0.886 fib level. That is a super high probability reversal fib, and so if price does get rejected off of it, or if price does break through it, you have a very good short-term signal. So where am I going to buy back? I've got a couple areas. I'm probably going to buy back at Probably looking at, the conversion line 886 zone, so 105.66, or pull back to, we could probably say down here at the baseline zone area, so we're looking at 105.44. Depends how aggressive you want to be on that pullback or how conservative you want to be on that pullback. Okay? Otherwise, hang out. There's no reason to do anything else at the moment. Pound dollar. Pound dollar really showing a lot of weakness. And where are we sitting at right now? Well, we've got a hammer forming. This is definitely oversold conditions on the hourly. Very obvious oversold conditions on the hourly. We dropped from 142.37 to where are we at, 14106. So we dropped 131 pips. That's a bit of a drop. That's a bit of a drop without any retracement. So here, though, I'm looking to go short again at a pullback to 141.44. That's where I'd like to get back in short. Definitely. I think that is a great zone to do that in. Then we've got, where are we at? Where were we? All right, now let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Let's look at the structure here. This is the pound structure, so we got, I know it's probably hard on the eyes, but New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Where did we get rejected in our Gann squares? Up against this angle, we had some follow through, fall down here. Hourly's looking a little oversold, looking like we've got some short-term buying conditions here. On the daily, though, yeah, continuing. We've really got this continuing sell here that we can see happening. So keep an eye on that. Really not. I'll come back there. We might see a trade. Now the Aussie dollar, US dollar, that is a bit of a kerfluffle. This thing is just. I'm happy. We haven't put in a lot of trades in this guy lately because it's been a really messy chart. Not liking it. Euro pound. Okay, so Euro pound. We had some kind of a big deal. This inner mid support's kind of a big deal. And if we take a look at our cloud on the Euro pound, probably still looking to entertain along here, but we want to entertain along on a pullback. Probably to the base at 0.8758. What are we looking at on the other clouds here? So we're below the 4. Oh, we got rejected right at the top of that cloud, so maybe we don't want to do that. No. Yeah, we do. Euro pound, we're going to do a pullback to 87.58. Okay. US dollar, Canadian dollar. I'm just looking at the other chart here with that I have the euro up on. We might be interested in getting in a short there. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay. what do we got going on here? Short based on the hourly. We're below the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and we're sitting in the cloud of the 8 hour. Neutral here. Not looking really much at anything there. Slip on back up to the gold trade here. Really not looking at a good entry there. Okay, so the pound dollar found a nice bounce off of the 1 hour cloud, and we're still above the 4 and the 8 hour cloud. Okay, taking a look at that right now, but we want to see when we could go short. Because this may just kind of retrace, up to 75-80% of the move from yesterday, and well, from now back up to yesterday, and we'll want to make sure we time an entry based on these good conditions too. Really not seeing it right now. Not interested. This hourly candlestick closes in 18 seconds. We'll see what the behavior is here. Four seconds, 3, 2, 1. Looking like a little selling pressure at the end there. Certainly, if this is a bullish candlestick, because we're in oversold conditions in our oscillators, and then this is a pretty textbook hammer bouncing off of the support zone. If that doesn't hold, there's my thumb pointing down. Right. Now taking a peek at the dollar yen. Dollar yen is not showing a lot of selling pressure here. It is still pretty bullish in its formation and in its price range. Just the dollar index is doing great. It has retraced a whole bunch of its move. The dollar index is just it's a basket of currencies against the dollar. I think like half of it is, 56% of it is the euro, and then it really has to be like redone. I mean, because it still has, what does it happen at? Wait, let me look at it. Yeah, it's 57.6% is the euro. The dollar yen is 13.6%. The pound dollar is 11.9%. The Canadian dollar is in at 9.1%. Then the Swedish krona, that is 4.2% of it, in the Swiss franc. And it's weird that the krona and the franc are in there. There's other currencies that probably should be in there against the dollar, like probably the Mexican peso should be in there, and some others. So that's the dollar index. It's doing pretty well now. And again, if we look at the dollar index, like on a monthly, pretty yucky. But we've got big divergence here. Huge divergence. Big divergence. And this is a beautiful reversal pin here setup that we've got going on here. This is very, very awesome kind of rounded bottom we're getting. So we should really be looking at some nice increased moves here. Gold dollar, euro dollar. Brings back to the hourly. Euro dollar, showing a little bit of weakness there. because really, if we want to look at it at the 4-hour, we're still in selling conditions. If we want to look at it at the 8-hour, we've just kind of begun the selling conditions. On the 12-hour, we just kind of formed that top. I mean, we still got a ways to go down on this pair, and we've got this large divergence on the 12-hour chart. So yeah, there's a bit of a drive down. This is a pretty interesting chart on the 12-hour actually. Take a peek at it at the daily. Yep, selling condition. Pound dollar. 12-hour. Nice. 8-hour. 8 hours looking a little bit extended. But that doesn't matter. It can be extended for a while. 4-hour. Yep, looking a little slanted there. We'll probably find support at that 56 zone. And then the 1-hour. Coming down quite a bit, but not a lot. I mean, we've got a regular bearish divergence showing up here. Very definite, obvious bearish divergence. Pound dollar catching a little bit of a bid here, where we're going to probably be entertaining that short opportunity up here again. Looking forward to getting into that. New Zealand dollar. Now this is kind of interesting that we got rejected right at that 8 and this trend line. So, you know, that is actually the 0.728. That's a good short. That's a good short. Aussie dollar. No, I am not. Here's, I mean, we do have all the conditions for going short. So, you know, really, probably short at a pullback to 77.18. I mean, because we're below the 4 and the 8. All these clouds are just kind of hovering right at this zone, and we're below it. So, I mean, that's a good. Just probably a little bit of consolidation right before another sell zone. Actually, I've got to put in a trade for that too. Where are we at here? AUD USD. There we go. Got to sell in there. Euro pound. Yeah, that's waiting for that kind of pullback there a little bit. And yeah, so those are our trades for the day. I think we've got some pretty good setups going on. If you're holding any of those trades from yesterday, you could, I mean, take a little off for profit, or just kind of close your charts and wait a week and come back and look at it. Lots of great trading opportunities coming up. We've got a lot of good. We're going to be able to do a lot of, getting into some of these trades again as they pull back, and then we can short them or long them again. We've got pretty good opportunities here. So, anyways, you guys have a great Tuesday. We've had a great Monday. We're going to have a great rest of this week. And you guys all take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.